Hello! So it was recently requested of me to do a video where I talk about all the groups I like. So, I decided, this will be my second talk video. Yeah, second. So, why not do it about groups I like and love? So I have like a bunch of sticky notes all over my computer to help me figure out where I am and stuff. And the first 6 groups that I'm going to mention are first favorite to 6th favorite. After that, it's pretty much whoever came to my mind. But still, towards the end of the list is always tentative, But, number 1, I will forever be a beauty. I love Beast. Beast is my number 1 favorite group. I own 4 of their albums so far. I still have yet to get Shock of the New Era. And I'm definitely pre-ordering their next album. The one that's supposed to come out this month. Yeah. It's also my bias in that group. My bias list is crazy. Started off when I first got into them, Junghyun was my bias. Then all of a sudden, Hansen with his 4D self said, "No, I'm gonna be your bias now. I'm gonna be number 1, because I am number 1." And then Doojun decided, you know what, Hansen, I'm the leader, therefore I shall be number 1. Luckily, I haven't had much issues with Yosop, Kikwang, and Dongwon. But luckily, I really don't know what I would do if I did have issues with them. Because I love them all. They're all so amazing. And I love all their songs. And so, yeah. The second group was B1A4. They were tied for a while there. But they are officially second because I love all their songs. They're such a wonderful, upbeat, outgoing group, and yet they're shy. My bias list in that one kind of was crazy at first. Because first it was, Gongchon? Yeah, it was Gongchon. And then it ended up being Baro. Then it was Jinyoung. And now, forever set at number 1. This one is not ever changing. Sondol. He's such a dork. A dorky duck. That's what he is. A dorky duck. Quack quack. Seiyuu, unfortunately, was usually last in this, but he's been growing on me a lot. I wouldn't be surprised if he got as high as 2nd, but he'll never be 1st. Sondol's just... I can't help it. Sondol is amazing. 3rd is Infinite. This one was after a lot of thought of why Infinite was 3rd. Infinite is 3rd because their personality as a group in a whole is nothing like their image, really. Like how their company tried to sell their image. I mean, just look at Myung-soo. Hello, stoic, cold character with this expressionless face. And now look at his actual image. Dork. Total dork. That has a really gorgeous smile. My bias in that one's Sungkyu. Yeah. I have a leader problem. It doesn't show up as much in some groups, but yeah. And then 4th is Yukis. There are some songs of theirs that I'm not really fond of, but I like them as a group for their personality. I do like their songs. Dora's alright. I do believe they deserve to win. 100% believe they deserve to win. Door is a really good song. it's just not one of their better songs. I prefer Neverland in 0330 personally, but I could still listen to it on repeat, which is one of the key things about a UKISS song. UKISS has a bias list record. Because my bias is Eli. It's been Eli since, I actually got into them, which was a while ago, like summer. And then I discover Hoon, because I didn't really listen to their newer stuff beforehand. I listened to their older stuff with Alexander and K.Will. Kind of depressing, kind of really depressing that they're not in the group anymore. But, so, then whenever I start listening to their newer stuff, I discover Hoon. And Hoon's just like, hey, I'm an adorable dork. I'm an adorable dorky bunny. So, I'm gonna just hop my way up your bias list and plant myself in first place. But then Eli has to go and tweet these most stupid, hilarious things. It's just, he tweets the weirdest things. Sometimes I just want to strangle him. Really. I mean, but that's what makes him my bias. And what makes Hoon have trouble getting into first spot, even though he, like, crashed into everyone to get to second. It's like, seriously, Eli, whoever was second, third, fourth, then Hoon. Right there. Right there. Saying, Eli, go to second. Yeah. So, fifth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, fifth. This one's constantly changing, to be honest. Because just earlier, before I recorded this video, I said it was someone else. So I kind of want to switch it, to be honest. But no, fifth is Teen Top. Fifth is Teen Top because Teen Top really was like one of the first groups I ever got into. Some of their songs can be a bit awkward. I do say that. But they're really good at their ballads, and oh my gosh. And so, and they also, its album was my very first album, so they kind of really have a special place in my heart. And also, Jessica and Christiana both are very adamant about the fact that my destiny is Minsu. Minsu is my bias. He's just the most spastastic, dorky leader in the world. And which leads me into the group that I said was fifth earlier, and then I was like, never mind. It's Exo. Not Exo-K, not Exo-M, Exo. I do have two different biases. I do have a separate bias list for each, but I also have one bias list, because they are one group. In Exo-K, which right here, Exo-K, my bias is Chanyeol, because he is a little adorable ball of fluff with a deep voice that does not suit his face. He's a dork. I like dorks. In Exo-M, my bias is Chris. Because he's just such a spastastic leader. I like how he took control. And their music, I was so certain I wasn't going to like Exo. Whenever I listened to What Is Love and History, I was like, these songs aren't that great. I don't like them. This is weird. Why are they in two separate groups? And then Mama came out and I'm like, oh, okay, I like them now. I like the song What Is Love. I like the song History. I gave in. And so, now we get into the unnumbered portion where I just talk about groups in general. So I like FT Island. Seunghoon was like my ultimate bias for the longest time, and then Chris came along, you know, from Exo-M, and he's like, yeah, I'm an ultimate bias now. So Seunghoon's fighting back to tie for being a third ultimate bias. Not fun. Then In Black, I really like In Black. There are some songs by theirs I'm not quite fond of either, but my bias there is Seungho. Guess what? Another leader. Imagine that. And then Shiny, and they were like the first group that I got into. But I wasn't really all that impressed with Sherlock or the album. I know, Sherlock, shoot me now. Bang. Okay, yeah. I do like it. I like the song Stranger off the album most. But my bias in that song is Unu. Guess what? Another leader. And then B2B, the, in my opinion, rookie group of the year. And I just realized something. Even though I like B2B more, EXO is further up on the list. Ah, my list doesn't make sense. I do like B2B more than Exo-K. My bias is in the squishy rapper. I call him Squishy. He's my Squishy. And I did a reaction video to both their music videos, and I screen capped the entire Insane music video. If you want to see those screen caps, you just have to go to our Facebook. Yeah, because they're in a whole album. So then there's B.A.P. My bias is Himchan, the dork, the derpy dork. Block B. My bias is Yukon. I feel really bad for Block B, but I'm so happy they came out with another album. But I'm not sure if I want to buy it, to be honest. I'm not a big fan of repackaged stuff. Then Super Junior, I have two biases. Shiron and Unique. Yeah. Shiron because I really admire his faith. And Unique because he's a dork. Noticing a dorky trend here. And there's New East. My bias, I had such issues with this. My bias, I was certain it was going to be either JR, Junior, whatever you say, or Aaron. And it is JR. However, every time I listen to Aaron's part in the music video, I'm like, I like his part a lot. But then JR has to come up again and they're like, oh, bam, I am the leader, I am your bias. Such issues. So, now 2 a.m. My bias is the Macme. Jinmin. I know, most people would think my bias would be Jokwon because he's super dorky. But no, it's Jinmin. And not just because Jinmin was really the first person I knew of 2 a.m. But he's just, 1, he's fantastic. 2, he has a really excellent voice. 3, he can play guitar. 4, he's more of a dork than he lets on. He's like a giant dork. Yeah, because he's pretty tall. Okay. Then, double A, I don't really have a bias in that group. Juwon, I think they need to come back because I'm starting to lose their names. My name needs to come back as well. Bias in that group is Sayoung. And then in these next two groups, I don't really have a bias. Other than, like, the lead singer. Trax and Axiz. A-X-I-Z, I don't know how to pronounce it. They're both, like, actual rock bands, kind of. Popish rock, I guess. But I like Trax's newer stuff, minus their older stuff. Their older stuff is more along the rock genre that I wasn't a big fan of. I'm not a big fan of that genre. Then C and Blue. Why is C and Blue so far away from the talent? I don't know. My bias in that group was Junction. But now it's definitely Youngblood because of his acting. I like his acting. And then Dalmatian. I have the hardest bias issues in this group because I refuse to admit that Inati is my bias. He's a leader, you know, and he's 30. He is 30, or in that age range, and I'm just like, I don't want him to be my bias, but I can't help it. And then N.Train needs to make a severe comeback before I go all crazy eternal on them and just... Eugen's my bias. No issues there. Cute, adorable cutie pie, which I refuse to admit is older than me. And born in the same year. N.Sonic. You know, they came out with that. I really like their one song they came out with. And they kind of disappeared off the map. And then X-Cross. I really like both of them. Their songs are so catchy and stuff. And, so that was a lot of guy groups. So let's get into a few girl groups. Only a few. I really like 2NE1, Brown Eyed Girls, and Wonder Girls. Those are like the main girl groups that I like. I'm okay about Miss A, and I'm trying to get into 4 Minute. Trying. I like some of their songs, but... And then I listen to A-Pink. Their songs are alright, but they're way too cutesy. Way too cutesy. Like, incredibly cutesy, and I'm just like, this is the other extreme that I don't like. I'm okay with Secret. Sometimes. They're alright. And now we get into soloists. My favorite soloist by far is IU. She's incredible. She's someone that people should definitely look up to. And even though this next person's part of a hip-hop group, is a Supreme Team, I like Simon D. I like his song Cheers. I really like it. And then Gak, I don't know how to say that. I really like his songs, even though I'm not a big fan of ballads. K.Will's alright. And I've only heard one song by Verbal Gent. Not sure if any of you have heard of him. So in Guk. Yeah, I think that's how you say his name. And I've heard a few SS501 songs. I do like SS501. I just realized I forgot to mention Big Bang in the groups. Oops. My bias in Big Bang is Daesung. So, yeah. I have heard a few SS501 songs, and I like them. But I also like Kim Hyun-jung as a soloist and an actor. He's an incredible actor in my book. And now we get to the groups that I like, that I'm always looking out for. However, I don't really listen to them all that much. Or like Twilight, Hit, BB.Boys, Boyfriend. Boyfriend's alright. They are. I just can't bring myself to actually be their fan. I like some of their songs. Zaya and 2PM. I'm trying to like 2PM. I just can't force myself to like 2PM. And then there's a group I just recently got into. Don't know how to say their name. I think it's Focus, FCuz. Yeah. So, that's a semi-quick rundown of the groups that I like. Thank you for watching, I guess. If you watched the whole thing, definitely thank you for watching. This is getting on the long side, or it's been on the long side for quite a few minutes. So, if I missed any groups, or if you have any groups to recommend, comment and I'll tell you if I've heard them or not, and if I like them or not. Keep in mind, I'm not a big fan of girl groups. I will give them a try, but I'm not a big fan of them. if there are any girl groups that are kind of like the ones that I mentioned that I do like, then the chances of me liking them are more. But it's just how I feel. I do like them and I respect them, but I'm just not a big fan of them. So I will let you know if I like a group or not if you comment, mention a group. And if you mention a group I've never heard of, I will definitely give them a try. Definitely. So please, don't hesitate, and thank you so much for watching this now 20-something minute long video. Bye bye!